Find the domain of the function g of x equals log base 3 of x squared minus 1. Regardless of what base the log is, the argument of log, what goes inside of log, needs to be positive. And so in this case, the restriction is that the argument of log x squared minus 1 has to be greater than 0. And so this is now essentially solving a polynomial inequality, and we know how to do this. First, we factor the left-hand side, x minus 1 times x plus 1, and we pretend to solve for the 0 at first. We see that there are two zeros here. X is 1 and x is negative 1. We won't be able to use the two numbers because we want the argument of log to be positive, not 0, not negative. And then we check the sign at each of these intervals. These are the only two zeros we guarantee here because x squared minus 1 is a polynomial of degree 2. We know that x squared minus 1 looks like this because it is a parabola concave up. And so we see that from negative infinity to negative 1, the sign should be positive above the x-axis. From negative 1 to 1, the sign of the expression x squared minus 1 is negative because the graph is below the x-axis, and from 1 to infinity, x squared minus 1 is positive. But if this is not clear, we can pick any number in the first interval, for example, negative 2, and we plug this into this factor. We see that negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. And then negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And so negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive number. And then we pick a number in the second interval, 0 for example. We see that this is 0 minus 1, which is negative 1, times 0 plus 1 is 1. So a negative times a positive is a negative. And then we pick another number in the third interval, 100 for example. 100 is between 1 to infinity for sure. 100 minus 1 is 99, and 100 plus 1 is 101. A plus times a plus is positive. And so the interval where the argument of log x squared minus 1 is positive are from negative infinity to negative 1, union with 1 to infinity. In this case, we cannot use negative 1 or 1 because negative 1 would make the expression 0 inside of log, and log of 0 is undefined. The same as 1 as well. 1 squared is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. And we cannot use any number between negative 1 and 0 and 1 because if we were to use any number in between negative 1 and 1, the argument of log will be negative, and log of a negative does not make sense. And so this is the domain of the function g of x.